Meeting. Let's call the meeting to order and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilor Peterson,
Here.
Councilor Geisler. Here. Councilor Nelson,
Here.
Councilor Hochschild.
Here.
Mayor Boucher.
Here. Announcements. Do any counselors have announcements they'd like to make this evening?
The only one for me, somebody else may steal the thunder too, but Mr. Overman has served at Pine City for 42 years. And this is his last official meeting, and I want to thank him, and probably everybody else does as well, but thank you for your efforts. I've learned a lot from you, and what a lot of people don't know, when I was a teenager, Steve Overman built a house across the street from where my parents lived, so I've known him
Denham?
yeah. We lived on Chambersburg, so.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I thought you were going to say when you were a teenager, he was the city attorney.
Probably. That too. That too. And Grant was not, Grant was long from born. So anyway, but thank you, Steve, for all you've done. And it's been my pleasure. For the
It's
past
been a
15
pleasure.
years, so
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And I have to remind him that he did take an attempt at prosecuting criminals before he became our city attorney for a couple of years, and was glad to hand that over to someone else when he became the full-time city attorney.
I have some stories from those days too.
Certain officers testifying.
Jeez.
Yes.
Thank you for everything you've done, Steve. We appreciate it. We know you're going to stick around in a little smaller capacity, and I know this is hard for you to give up. It's hard to give up something you love as much as you do, but I think you picked a great successor.
Yeah,
we
it's the right
appreciate
time.
that.
Thank you.
I thank you as well. It's been great knowing you all these many years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, we started with Kita, I think, together on the city here years ago. So, and I knew you before that. So it's just, I will miss seeing you around, but I'm really excited for you and what's coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
I would also like to bring up and mention the passing of former city councilor Kay Knight, who passed on December 9th. The cause is unknown, but our thoughts go with her family, her two daughters, and we appreciate her service to the city. We have no public hearing tonight. Communications, Mr. Mulder.
Just the one there that was listed is for your information. And then we'll need to appoint somebody new to the Planning and Zoning Commission after we receive applications.
Thank you. And no presentations tonight. Public discussion. Is there any member of the public that wishes to discuss anything in general with the city council that's not on the agenda? Either present in chambers or present in the online meeting? If so, begin by stating your name and address. Is there any public discussion this evening, either in chambers or online? With no public discussion, we will move on to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Geisler. We have a roll call, please.
Councilor Geisler.
Aye.
Councilor Nelson.
Aye.
Councilor Hochschild.
Aye.
Councilor Peterson.
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. We'll move on to ordinances. Second reading of ordinance 2021-10, an ordinance amending Hermantown Code of Ordinances by amending section 850.5, particular speed limits designated. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Nelson, second by Counselor Hochschild. Mr. Mulder.
So this is the second reading of the ordinance that would set a different speed limit on Swan Lake and Sunby roads following the road improvement project. And then at least those are the speed limits on the city portions of those roads.
And is LeBake Junction part of that?
LeBake Junction, we did that ordinance previously as part of the local road improvement plan.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public discussion on this, either in chambers or online? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Any public discussion on the second reading of ordinance 2010-10? Roll call, please.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolutions, resolution 2021-165. Resolution reestablishing unchanged precincts and polling places for the city of Hermantown. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Nelson. Mr. Mulder.
This is a annual thing that we do for the election cycle. We are waiting to see if there will be any changes in redistricting. We don't expect any, but the county confirmed that we should adopt this resolution, and if there are changes to redistricting, we would bring that back to you at a later date.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public comment on resolution 2021-165? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there any public comment on the resolution to reestablish precincts for polling places in the city of Hermantown? Roll call, please.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2021-166. Resolution receiving preliminary engineering feasibility report and calling public hearing for local road improvements to portions of Richard Avenue and Lindgren Road. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Housechild, second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder.
We previously had a public hearing on a portion of this project, and as we began the design of that and the design work, we felt that there was a number of other changes that we should make, including, adding Sam's Way and additional part of Richard Avenue. And so we are proposing that we would have a second public hearing in January. In the meantime, we will contact all of the property owners, informing them of the specific amounts of the proposed assessments.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on this? If so, please state your name and address for the record. Is there any public input on resolution 2021-166? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2021-167, resolution authorizing and directing mayor and city clerk to execute addendum to engineering contract for road improvement district number 538, Richard Avenue, Lindgren Road, EV Drive, and Frontage Road. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Housechild. Mr. Mulder.
So we're going to do some additional work as part of this project. So we've gotten a proposal from Northland Consulting Engineers for that additional work.
Thank you. Do we have any questions or comments from council?
I'll just comment my usual with the Northland contracts. My son works for Northland, and the result of this contract has no financial benefit to my son or myself.
Thank you. Any other comments from council? Is there any public input on resolution 2021-167? Any public input on the resolution authorizing the addendum to the engineering contract for District 538? Roll call, please.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2021-168, resolution authorizing and directing City of Hermantown to sponsor a grant funding request associated with the construction of an accessible trail from Okerstrom, Portland Roads to Morris Thomas Road and the Keene Creek Trail segment. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion by Counselor Peterson, second by Counselor Housechild. Mr. Mulder.
So this is a grant application for the trail section that would start at Morris Thomas and connecting to the trail going into King Creek Park and then would go up toward Portland Avenue and that must be Johnson
Johnson Road.
at that intersection and then also connecting Okerstrom.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council? Is there any public input on resolution 2021-168? Any public input on the resolution for the grant application? Roll call, please.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. Resolution 2021-169, resolution authorizing and directing the preparation of and issuance of preliminary acquisition notices and offer of just compensation in connection with the project known as the Uggstead Road and Arrowhead Road improvements. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Counselor Housechild, second by Counselor Geisler. Mr. Mulder.
So this is the process where we need easements for the Uggstead Road project. Because we are receiving federal money for this, we have to go through a little bit of a different process than we normally use. So this authorizes the city administrator and the city attorney to make this offer to the three private parties where we need these additional easements.
Thank you. Any comment from council? And these are temporary construction easements, not permanent?
That's correct.
Thank you. Is there any public comment on resolution 2021-169? If there's any comment on this resolution, please start with your name and address for the record, please. Hearing no public comment, could we have a roll call?
Counselor Housechild,
Aye.
Counselor Peterson,
Aye.
Counselor Geisler,
Aye.
Counselor Nelson,
Aye.
Mayor Boucher.
Aye. And last but not least, we have a motion to recess.
Motion to recess.
Second.
So moved.
Motion by Counselor Geisler, second by everyone else. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Happy holidays, everyone.